Welcome into my great Tauruses. It is time for your urgent reading for April 2024. This reading is designed to work in tandem and in unison with your general monthly reading for April Taurus, which will autoplay at the end of this reading in case you haven't viewed that yet. Now let's get started with your reading today. Spirit has asked that I do a yes or a no spread for you, so it gives you a chance to ask a yes or no question. And now would be a good time to do that if you have one that you'd like answered. And you're probably thinking, well, you have already laid the cards out and everything. There's no way that you're answering my question right now. That's nonsense because of a thing called quantum mechanics. We know that time is an illusion and all things happen at the same time. There is no real time in spirit world. So you can ask your question right now. And if it doesn't get answered, it's not because Spirit's picking on you. It's just because we have a lot of people tuning in and, priorities are priorities. So we're going to try and attempt to answer as many questions as we can here today. Let's get started. Let's go to the yes side first. And keep in mind, guys, context, okay? Because they're answering so many questions. Think of ways or words that they would use to answer yours or give you clues, because they're usually not going to say, yes, you should leave your job and go get this new job in 2 weeks. And you should also find one that's closer to home. They're not going to give you that much specific information. They're going to give you just simpler things. So here we go. On the yes side, if some of you asked a question about money here, especially being authoritative with money, like, maybe saving money or using money toward a purpose, like should I save money for a home or something like that, like it has a goal attached to it, coming up as under yes, looking very good energy there. They actually talk about how it's important to draw a line in the sand and be like guarded about this too. So like maybe save avidly, be a very, very stringent saver here, or just being very strict about your discipline and, making sure you stick to it and, you really don't cheat on your little plan here. Don't deviate from the plan. So that's coming in on the yes side. We also have a factor here for yes, that if anybody asked about 2 areas of your lives here, kind of in disarray perhaps a little bit, or that you're trying to keep in much organization here. And these areas of our life that usually get out of whack are family and work. Those are the main ones. So if you asked a question about that, the work and family balance, this could very well be a yes for you here. Now they do show in the card in the deck they wanted me to use for you. This is a little bird holding a key. It's actually a pin to a grenade. So they're saying here that it's a yes, but you need to handle this delicately. Otherwise the whole thing can blow up, because that's what grenades do, and we don't want that to happen. Not in your April, not ever, Taurus. So the other moving part here is that there is heartbreak attached to it. So there is some kind of weird, in this deck especially, weird heartbreak. So there's something that either pains you here or you don't like doing or dealing with, or something in April that comes in here that maybe that's why you need to handle this delicately, but it is a yes. So whatever that means to you, yes there. We have another yes if you asked about good credit, good karma. This is good return on investment. This can also be about people. And I'm just kind of looking ahead. If you asked about health, it pops in a little bit here, a little bit on both sides. I do feel like, because when we read the Pentacles suit, the suit of Pentacles, it can mean finances. It can also mean health. I feel like our pushes here were more financial, but it can also be health related. So it could be a health authority coming up as a yes too, and good health credit here coming up as a yes also. Good credit here comes up not just financially good credit. It could mean that, very bluntly, very directly, but it can also mean here good return on investment. So it's things that you put your money into that will make you money later, investing in yourself perhaps, or buying land, something like that. It's stuff that goes up. Not stuff like a car, which is a depreciating asset, which is usually going to go down in value. Okay, so this is good credit coming in the yes. So that is a question you would ask yourself if you asked a financial question. They also talk about kids coming up here. So maybe some of you asked about something for the kids, funding college for the kids, or doing something financially for the grandkids. Or like I said, it can be health related too for the younger people. But that even makes me feel like it's more financial than anything, in fact, because they're talking about younger children here. And this can also be kind of a younger approach too. So being young at heart comes up here as a yes too, toward using this money. So that is probably the dilemma. You just want to make sure that you make smart decisions here and aren't just kind of doing the impulse buy thing or that kind of deal. Also, when this card comes up here, it can be about younger people, maybe spending more time. If you ask us about something like that, like kids, grandkids, something like that, the answer could very well be a yes. The middle position is about work. In the work corner, I don't think we really talked about work yet. We did not. So if you asked a work question, I'm just kind of looking ahead down your spread. There's only a little piece on the no and then the maybe. The maybe, if you asked a work question that happens to be with, even hobbies and interests, collegiate courses, retirement, all that stuff falls under work. If you asked a question about location or kind of more like here versus there, it is very much undecided between the two. It is too mysterious to read. Spirit can't get a clean read on it. Maybe just too many people muddling up the energy, something like that. But anyway, we have work kind of crossroads here that are just not clear enough to give you a direct yes or no yet. On the no side, if anybody of you asked about a couple, a guy and a girl as it looks, a younger couple, I'd probably say, whether it's like your cousin and his girlfriend or whoever these young people are. Maybe some of you asked a question like, will they stay together? The answer here would be no. And that doesn't mean like, it can't be a good relationship, because it could, but is it going to be forever? No, it's on the no side. So if you ask a question about two people, I guess you'd know that, and it looks to me like opposite sexes too. Eventually they're just not going to see eye to eye. Okay, so, and even if you ask a question about like you and an ex, like, well, me and this person get back together or find ourselves again and make it work, the answer here would be no. It's just not. It's not worth it. Not the energetic push here. You or them, probably both of you, have better options out there, other things to do, etc. If you asked a question about bankruptcy or loss, like losing a lot of money here, or really being concerned with finances here, that whatever version of this, they're telling you no, and it doesn't mean no, not ever, but it does mean no, not right now. Okay, so maybe if you've been thinking about making a big purchase, they'd be saying here that this could be a loss, and that is why on the yes side, it was very much a key about the disclaimer that it has to be for good karma, good credit, stuff that will bring you return. Because what this shows is that there's something here coming on the no side that talks about like, this is just going to make you sick. This is going to make you sick to your stomach or cause anxiety and stress and just mess you don't need. So keep that in mind on the no side if you asked a question similar to that. On the no side, we also have a small victory coming in for work, but they say no. So there is good here, even though it's a no. And, maybe sometimes no's are good, depending on what the question is and the context, the way that you worded it and kind of set it up here for Spirit. But they bring in a small victory. The keyword is small, but it does accrue. Things add up there. But they're answering your question no because of fate. And that is the reason behind there, is that there is more destiny and stuff going on behind the scenes attached to this that is less on the surface level, like kind of more the behind the scenes things that you don't necessarily see or have a privy to. But here Spirit is letting you know, a little peek behind the curtain, so to speak, and kind of give you a glimpse as what they're talking about with work. So the main thing for work that came in, interestingly enough, the maybe, and a little snippet on the no side. And interestingly enough, you guys are very connected to Cancer, because Cancer also had a yes or no spread for their urgent reading. Also the same exact card in the same exact position. Very interesting coincidence. Too coincidental to be coincidence there. So a lot of Cancers and Taurus, very vibey here for yes or no. So that is your reading here, guys. In case Spirit did not get to your yes or no question, this is available as a personal audio product. Very affordable too. On the website, scottsagent.com. Go on there to book your reading. It's an audio reading. You don't even have to show up for it. You just ask your question, and Spirit does their best to answer it in a yes or no format. So that's your reading for today, guys. It is going to autoplay your general monthly reading for April, in case you haven't viewed that. So have an excellent April. I know you will.
So I guess the fortune teller's right.